Hello, everyone. I'm Steve, and today I'll be reviewing Christmas Chronicles Part 2, starring Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, Darby Kemp. This was directed by Chris Columbus and written by Matt Lieberman and Chris Columbus. Teenager Kate Pierce is reunited with Santa Claus when a troublemaker threatens to cancel Christmas forever. So that's the whole premise of this movie. Again, we're on an adventure with Kurt Russell, who plays Santa Claus, but we get to see Santa Claus Land. And that'll be a big part of the whole movie after the beginning. So, Christmas Chronicles Part 1 was released in 2018. We see Kate and Teddy Pierce, whose Christmas Eve plan to catch Santa Claus on camera turns into an unexpected journey that most kids could only dream about. Yeah, the first movie I really did enjoy. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. The musical scene alone in the first one I thought was one of the standout moments of the first movie. It was really just a feel-good, all-around movie. Everybody had a lot of fun. You could tell Kurt Russell was having an amazing time playing Santa Claus. The kids were great in it as well, Kate and Teddy. Yeah, I mean, really, the first movie was just actually overall just really good. So in this one, we see years later, Kate and family are in Cancun, Mexico on vacation for Christmas, basically. And Kate is too busy, sulking about wanting to be back in Massachusetts instead, for a real Christmas in her mind. Kate and her mom's boyfriend, Jack, end up at the North Pole, and we get to see an elf try to ruin Christmas and make everybody forget about Santa Claus. We even get to learn more about Santa Claus. That's really the only spoiler-free part of the review I can give you. We are going to get into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this movie was overall wasn't as good as the first one. We get to see Kate is upset about her mom dating again, so she goes to run away. And then we are introduced to Belsnickel, an elf who tries to destroy the North Pole and make everybody forget about Santa Claus because he's mad about something. And we get to really kind of learn about that later on in the movie. So Kate and Jack are sent to the North Pole, and Santa finds them, and rescues them. And then we get to really see, Santa's village and stuff. They're super excited to have children around for, the first time maybe. And so they show them all over the place. And Kate kind of gets hung up on the thing, if Mrs. Claus designed Santa Village, why isn't it called Mrs. Santa's Village? And, so they get stuck on that a little bit, but then they finally get past it. And we see, there's some cool shops and stuff in the village. They literally take them around. There's one part where we get to see the Lego shop, and the elves tear down the Legos and then rebuild them, and they look like Kate and Jack. So I thought that was actually really cool. And then we get to a moment where we see the Christmas star that's on top of this giant tree that powers the whole village and protects the village get destroyed. So I thought this was kind of a cool scene because you get to see Santa Claus use his magic against Belsnickel, and he has he puts a glove on that is magnetic, so he can try to do pull the objects away from Santa. So we get to see a struggle there, and it gets destroyed. And then we Kate and Santa have to go and get a new star, so that way they can save Christmas. We also get to see them explain Santa's origin, which I thought was really kind of cool. As I really love the fact that Kurt Russell is playing Santa Claus right now, especially in this. You can tell that he's playing, he really loves this role, and he has a lot of fun. And I loved seeing Goldie Hawn play Mrs. Claus too next to him because obviously they're together in real life, so they have so much chemistry, and it just really plays out as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. So you really get to see that whole dynamic, and just the way they portray it is really, to me, is almost perfect. It's there. I really can't picture anybody else right now, playing these parts in this series. So I really liked that aspect of it. They also introduced a really interesting and really kind of weird thing into this movie for its time travel. So we get to see Santa and Kate sent back to, I believe it's 1990. And the whole thing is just like super weird on how they do the whole thing and introduce it. With time travel introduced, nobody, not even Kate, talks about going back in time and saving her dad from dying. Uh, and they don't even explain like why you can't go back in time and change past events. They just put it in, and then they put a musical number in it that's bigger than the last one in part one, but it's not as good. Like I thought it was cool that you get to see Santa Claus, dancing around and trying to get everybody's Christmas cheer up, but it felt kind of redundant. Like they already did it in the first one, but they did it better. And that was the thing about this whole movie is that some of the parts of this movie were rehashed from part one. So that I didn't really like about the movie as well, but it was still overall a really good movie. There was a sleigh chase and slash fight scene between Belznickel and Santa Claus and Kate. Like Belznickel builds his own sleigh, and he also has like these. I'm not even sure. I can't remember what he called them, but they were like kind of dog-like hyena things that were his version of reindeer. So I thought that whole thing was kind of cool. For the especially the special effects, like they go back in through the tunnel where they fly around the world really fast, so they're fighting in that, which was actually was really interesting because it's like what happens if you get thrown out of that? It's like, well, are you gonna like something gonna happen to you, like really bad happen, or what you're just gonna get thrown off and you gotta fly all the way back from wherever that point in the world you are back to the North Pole. So that was a really interesting thing that they threw in there that I liked. And I mean at the end, I mean Santa and his loyal pals find a way to save Christmas, and they all end up living happily ever after. Can't say it. And along the way, obviously, Kate and Jack learned some key lessons about the importance of family and believing in yourself. Kate finally accepts, her mom's boyfriend's, son as her friend and maybe even family at the end. And I thought the movie was still, for the most part, a feel good movie. I don't think it was as feel good and emotional as the first one, which is what I really liked about the first one. Again, the effects were good in this. There, obviously, all the stuff I mentioned, like the effects were just really great. The sleigh chase scene was good. There's another part in it where when they go and get the new star, Santa Claus has to hold it up, and like a hole in the sky opens and a beam of light comes down on him. So that's I thought that was pretty cool for that part. The shops again were really awesome. The Lego scene was pretty sweet. There's even like a candy cane factory that they make all the candy canes at. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But again, I mean, you have other people around the world making toys as well, but Santa Claus can make them all in basically one night. And so nobody else can match his production for that. The music, again, was all Christmas music, so it was pretty good. There was some dramatic music during the chase scenes with the sleigh and everything like that. All of that was good for the most part. The musical number, again, wasn't as good as the first one. They needed to do something a little more wackier, a little more crazy. I thought maybe, but it wasn't bad though. It was designed to raise Christmas spirit, so you could get back to where they needed to be. Uh, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn are pretty much the standout in this movie. The picture I have right here, I'm trying to, yeah, right here, is it really says it all. It really shows the fact that they have so much chemistry on set, and they enjoy playing these roles. They absolutely have so much fun, and you can see it throughout the whole entire performance. I mean, just looking at this picture right here, they're smiling like they're supposed to be, but they have that genuine smile and happiness on their face that you sometimes like people try to fake in movies and it just doesn't come off right. So that's what I really liked about this movie. I thought their performance in this movie was the standout part of this movie. Uh, this sets up for more sequels, and I really hope that they do more sequels, because a lot of movies get into the rut where you can't top the first movie. You know, the sequels aren't as good as the first movie and everything. So I want to see them try to come up with something a little bit more fun. I know they introduced a villain to this that they, at the end gets resolved, which is cool. I mean, it's a feel good part of the movie. Everybody comes together. They sing around a Christmas tree, and they sing on the beach in Cancun. So this whole movie, I enjoyed it overall. I would give this a 7 out of 10 just for the simple fact that it was still a feel good movie. It just had some plot holes and plot elements that really didn't make a lot of sense to be there. Again, the time travel, that whole thing was weird. So, I mean, they leave a lot of questions open for maybe like in the sequel that to explain, about this one. But yeah, if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. Take care, everybody.